Magic Kindergarten in the 80s. Dedicated to 80s kids and modern age kids everywhere. This is a story of a little boy who was a little boy many years ago in a world similar to our own and a place not too far away. He had a set of loving parents, strict, kind, shrewd, busy. A pair of elder sisters who are bossy, naughty, intelligent, protective. And they grieved him to no end, but were his playmates at home. And most notable of all, a grandmother who was always there for him at home, who gave him love and care and was a significant presence in his life. But this story is not about all those important people in his life. Rather, it is about his school. You see, it was a special school indeed, especially in his later years when he is wise enough to appreciate the great places and people that he has come across, but still not so wise that he did not make mistakes anymore. He still does, and quite a lot actually. He loved his school. First of all, it was a big school, especially to his little self. There was a big open compound and a wide, spacious porch. There seemed to be many kids at that time, but not too many that he ever felt suffocated or sick. The big open compound contained a sandbox where little children could dig, scoop, build houses or castle, all with their hands. When it was time to eat, they would then clap off the sand bits on their hands or on their pants. There was a slide, monkey bar, seesaw, and swing. Oh, what fun he had indeed, sliding and climbing and bobbing and swinging. Glorious fun. But the best fun of all was simply running with his friends. You see, they would play tag on the giant compound, and with more than 10 children playing, it was a blast indeed. Just little girls and boys, regardless of ethnicities, just running around, squatting, holding onto the gate for dear life. He was all breathless and smiles. Yes, there were many children in the school, but now that he is an adult, he would sadly only remember a number of them. God knows how many of them he had forgotten, or worse, to have bumped into them or known them again when older, but totally forgotten that they had played together once. The ones he remembers, or things he remembers, all who will not be named. A boy with a giant goofy smile, born with a big mouth, with big eyes. They would often share drinks together. His elder brother, who seemed like a giant at the time, but with the kindest eyes and smile, and wise words and stories. His playmate, with big eyes, nose, mouth, and front teeth, but the biggest of all, which would be his fearless and passionate heart. Something which still inspires him up to this day. There were some that he would remember a little or not at all, some that he would see little growing up in a different setting or come across in his life, but not having the privilege to reconnect with. There were some that he did when he got older too, one who cried a lot, one who was exceptionally beautiful. There seemed to be one in every kindergarten he had been to. One who was spectacled. There are definitely many more, but all their faces seemed to melt together now, and he wasn't sure where they are now. Lunch was always an awesome affair, and one that he looked forward to every day, particularly when it was Noodles Day. Big, fat, chewy strips that just fill his mouth with memorable taste and texture. He would remember sitting on a huge porch on small chairs with small tables, with the warm rays of the morning sun beyond the awning. It was the same porch used for studying as well, with what little studying he did remember they had, compared to what children do nowadays. He could not remember much now. All he did remember was coloring, drawing. He could remember a coloring competition in which he got third, or was it fourth, or consolation? Whatever it was, it embedded itself firmly in his mind, and coloring, no matter how trivial it sounds, seemed the most important thing he had ever learned in the school, that and playing with his friends. He remembers dancing in the school concert and rehearsing with his friends and teachers. He was dressed in a white bunny costume, hopping around unsuccessfully at first, but eventually he managed to hop in circles. Everyone was laughing, and it was fun. He remembers getting a lift from the teachers in the school. They always seemed kind and warm and beautiful, and the window was down and he could feel the wind, all of which seemed to end too soon, for it was only a short ride away, walkable by adult standards. There were certain moments that stood out as well, but in other school. That of him imitating how adults dress up in TV shows, with the shirt buttons undone and a singlet visible inside, striking a pose and trying to look anguished and cool for everyone to see, with a girl chiding him for being naughty. Yes, it was odd, but perhaps no more odd than the things he does as an adult now, or that which adults do at times. You know what I mean. The magical moments seemed so long, but ended too soon. Glorious moments which would be repeated in shorter or longer bursts throughout his life, but it simply was not the same. It was too special a time, and he was too lucky. Now, you may be wondering why the title of this story is as such, when there clearly wasn't any sorcery or lightning bolts. Well, the real magic here is how special the school was to the children studying there, how happy it made them, and how happy it made me. Schools such as these are getting few and far between. Sometimes one doesn't realize how special something is until one doesn't have it anymore, and that was certainly the case for me. Perhaps you will find yours one day, dear readers. Or maybe you can build your very own magic school as an adult, so that more little ones can be as fortunate as me and you. Dedicated to Tarika Desi and its wonderful founder, teachers, and people who made it possible and who changed my life forever, and I am sure countless others as well. To my dear old friends whom I've had the privilege of reconnecting with, and to the ones I haven't as well, God bless. Thank you for reading, listening, and watching. Please do consider clicking on the like and subscribe button if you have enjoyed it. Cheers!